I know I could potentially regret this, but we are going to do a book wall tour and I'm gonna show you all the books that I own, and you will see that most of the books that I own at the moment I haven't read, and that's because I have been in a really big reading slump. If you're new here, my name is Karen. I do a lot of books, fashion, lifestyle content. If any of that is of interest to you, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are pretty much a booktube at this point. Let's just get started with the video. Let's start with the floor stack. So this stack, I have actually read most of them. I like to believe that I have read most of the books that I own, but that's not accurate right now. So we've got Ricochet, which is the second book in the Addicted series. I am currently reading this amongst many other books. The Read Addicted. I recently asked BookTok what am I missing, because I'm not getting into this series. The Booktok's classic pretty much stack. This is I Love Hypothesis. We've got Magnolia Park, which if you like a really toxic, I wouldn't even call this a romance relationship and book, definitely read this. I loved it. I love that series. Hating Game was one of the books that really got me into the whole romance situation. I love this book, and I actually really like the movie. I feel like they didn't do a super terrible job with the movie. They did change some things, but they usually do that with the movie. One of my favorite romances to this day. Every Summer After. I don't think this got a 5-star for me because I don't know, it was just okay. I probably shouldn't stop and talk about every single book, but I did read this, really liked it. Beach Read. If you've been around here, you know this is one of my favorite romances of all time. Highly recommend. My favorite. And then we've got Love and Other Words. This edition is super cute. When they came out with this one, I had to get it. The one that they had was this one, so I'm an OG when it comes to Love and Other Words because this was the cover that they had when I read it. I moved from this stack and on. I'm gonna do this stack first and then the one behind. Wish me luck. This is gonna be very messy. Right, so right here and The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She is the author of The Inheritance Games, and I haven't read any other series by her, and I've heard this series is actually pretty good. The Inheritance series is one of my favorite series besides book 3, so I really want to read this. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I read this for a video that I posted recently. It's a great read. I agree with most people about the rating. Confessed by Colleen Hoover. Not my favorite Colleen Hoover book, but it was still pretty good and entertaining. First Boys, also read this for that video where Alexa picked my reads. This one is pretty fun. I didn't really like Asher, but it was still fun. Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. You know my obsession with this series. Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm so excited for the show. It's coming soon. You've got to read this if you haven't. It's the best Taylor Jenkins Reid book in my opinion. Sweeney, Rock, Paper, Scissors. Such a good thriller. There's a plot twist at every page. You've got to read this. Some Dukes Have All the Luck. This looks like a spicy romance. I can't wait to read this. I'm just haven't been in the mood. This was gifted to me, so this is by Christina Brighton. After this was really disappointing. I DNF'd it at 100 pages. Don't know if I'm ever actually going to pick it up again. We'll see. 6 Days. This is a thriller that actually takes place during quarantine for COVID, so I thought that was interesting. I haven't really gotten into it, but it's a brand new book. Some more books laying around the house, but I'm too lazy to go get those, so let's just get through these. Love and the Age of Dragons. This is by Fatima R. Hansen. This was gifted to me as an ARC, and I still haven't read it, so it got gifted to me before it got published. This is What a Trip by Susan Edwards. This actually just got published today, so go grab this if you're interested. This is kind of like a 70s book. So this is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I still haven't read this. I just haven't been in the mood for it because I haven't really finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so this is supposed to be kind of similar. This is so heavy. Then we've got Good Girl Bad Blood. This is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I started, never really finished it. There's that. This is the second book in the Harry Potter series. Also still reading book number 1. Haven't finished that. Again, but better. This is supposed to be like a coming of age novel. I kind of got into it and then I don't know what happened, but I'm finishing this eventually because I love books that take place in college. We've got Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know. This is turned into a movie. It's kind of a classic. I think this is a series. I haven't read it. It might be a little too strong for me. I did watch the movie though. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is a special edition. Still haven't read it. We'll eventually read it. Okay. If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. I have never really had a desire to pick up this book, but I should. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I got this like a year ago. Then we've got Every Last Word. This is like about a girl that has like OCD in college. I saw it at Goodwill, I picked it up, and then I've seen it at Barnes & Nobles quite a bit, so it's kind of a popular book. I just got it for like $3, but that's what it looks like. Then we've got The Night Circus. This was when I was trying to get a lot of Halloween books, and I didn't read any of them, and Halloween's like long over now. We will read them eventually, I promise. This is about, I'm assuming it's about a night circus, but who knows. This is also a Halloween book. This was gifted to me. This is by Liz Parker. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I think this was either on the Kelly Clarkson show or the Drew Barrymore show. Okay, not everyone has a show, so, but it wasn't one of those shows, so it's pretty popular. Really long video because we still have like a lot of stacks to get through. Getting myself into when I started, I'm literally sweating. I think I might go turn the cool on. First stack, I'm gonna try to do this different so I don't make it more difficult for myself. We've got Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. She's the one who wrote Things We Never Got Over, and I really liked that book. It wasn't amazing, but this was gifted to me also as an ARC. I didn't finish it. I know if you're like a publisher watching this, you're probably like, man, I'm never gifting you an ARC again. As a mood reader, I'll read these books eventually, this one especially, but I'm just like not in the mood right now. This one is like a cute romance. She's like a YouTuber, renovates houses. We've got Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Hyman. One of my favorite books that got me into reading a very long time ago. I definitely recommend this. This was a 5-star for me. It's a very short read. She's a really fun character. Twilight, I'm like halfway. I never actually read Twilight, but I kind of feel like picking it up because I was obsessed with the movies when I was younger, so I was like, might as well. This was definitely a mess for me. I never got into it. It's also another Halloween book. I'm starting to think that I actually don't like Halloween books, so I don't know why I bought so many. But I kind of want to read this book before next Halloween because at this point it's like, you know. I'm definitely gonna book bang bang, I promise. I have like 2 more books coming in the mail and then I'm done. The Parks, The Long Way Home. I did finish this series. Well, there's only 3 books out right now. This is a thick romance. I love that you have to watch the videos where I talk about this series because it's just so good. I DNF'd this book twice. I'm like on page 100. What am I missing? If you've read this book or this duology, tell me what am I missing because I just can't get into it. I actually read the last book in the off-campus series. I eventually plan on doing it. It's not like the other 4 books, so I'm like, do I really need to read this? I mean, if I'm in the mood to get in touch with these characters again, I will. Before We Were Strangers, I've heard a lot of good things about this romance. So far, I found this so freaking cheesy though, so I haven't finished it. I'm on page 42. This is when I was in a summer mood and I bought a lot of summer books that I also didn't read. I need to stop buying books because of the season. Like, I haven't even bought a Christmas book so far because I did get gifted like 1 or 2, and I won't if I'm not really in the mood for it. Someday, this is the only Colleen Hoover book that I have DNF'd. And I DNF'd this book at page 86, so I did give it a try. Maybe I'll pick it up if I'm in the mood for Colleen Hoover and I don't feel like buying another one of her books. I've said before that I've been kind of growing out of Colleen Hoover, and I really mean it. I still like her books, they just don't hit the same. Where Are You? This is a Sally Rooney book. I've only read Normal People by her, and I picked this one up. I just really haven't been in the mood for it. I got The Wicked King. I didn't know this was a series, so I had to get the Cruel Prince in order to read this. Achilles, I'm sorry, not for me. I was like page 80. Maybe one day I'll be in the mood for it because I like Greek mythology, but it just wasn't for me. This is just like a cute YA romance. I just haven't been in the mood for it. For One by Jojo Morris. This one, I've owned this book for years, so we'll see if I'm ever in the mood to actually read it. The Brain, also DNF this. It's just not very cute. I mean, it's cute, it's just way too cheesy for me. Cory Mist of Fury. This is my favorite ACOTAR book so far. I'm currently on book 3. Book 3 has taken me a while to get through, but nothing's gonna top this book because of him. Yeah, I can't do it. Happy One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I have never read a Tessa Bailey book. DNF this one. I don't think she's for me, but I mean, I'm still gonna give it a try. Look, Sally Thorne gave it a review. I really like Sally Thorne's book though. I don't know, I feel like I need to give this another chance. Okay. Ellen Hildebrand, book that I own, Golden Girls. Also, when I was in the summer kick, bought a lot of summer books, didn't finish any of them. There's that. Roughest Draft. This was because I thought I was gonna like Book Lovers, and I ended up not liking book lovers, but then I've heard different things about this one, so maybe I'll read this when I'm in the mood for romance again. Love and Luck, another cute YA romance. This is part of a trilogy, I think. Yeah, the other book is somewhere here. Fangirl by Rainbow Bow. I think this is like a fan fiction book. People made a vacation, DNF this twice. Don't ask me about it. Couldn't get into it, way too cheesy for me. Maybe eventually I'll read it. I've read a few pages of this, so I can't really judge it too harshly. To the back, we've got book number 4 in the City Mortal Instruments series. They're kind of scattered around here, so there's that. Truly Devious. I'm really excited to start this. I got it very recently. I've heard a lot of good things about this series. It's the last book in the Inheritance Game series. Didn't like it that much. Book and Shatter Me, I really liked it enough to get the second book. Then we've got the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe series. Not my favorite out of the series, probably my least favorite, even though I really like Christian. Your Bashes is book number 2 in the Mortal Instruments series. Book number 1 is here somewhere. I don't own book number 3 actually. Then we've got Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World. This one is supposed to be a really nice romance. I can't wait to read it. I just got this in the mail recently. More People. This is a really complex book, and it's not for everybody. I personally loved it. I have changed my opinion and my rating on this book several times. At the moment, one of the best books I've read. Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Because I was reading ACOTAR, I just wasn't in the mood for fairy situation, so that's why I haven't read this one. This was gifted to me. Wishful Thinking, another Halloween book about witches. I can't wait to read this eventually. This is Dreaming of a Harley Christmas, so excited for that. Look at the cover, adorable. Last book, people. This book was only $5, and it kind of sounded like Birdie. That's the only reason why I got it. Dove. This is turned into a movie. Really liked the movie, really cute. So yeah. Love, another Christmas book by Helena Greer. Haven't read this, but I'm probably gonna read this during the Christmas season. The Bodyguard by Catherine Stenner. This was really cute. Like, it was like a 4-star for me. A really cute romance, really short too. Riley Seeger. I haven't finished Riley Seeger book. What am I missing? I have DNF, every single book I've started by him, but I'm still willing to finish this book because I'm pretty close to getting done. I just can't get through it for some reason. Funny to Ask by Alyssa Sussman. I DNF this book. Maybe we'll pick it up if I'm in the mood for this very specific storyline, but I just don't know if I'm going to. I have donated some books to my little library already, but a lot of these I'm still gonna give them another chance. Malibu Rising, I eventually plan on reading this. I just haven't really been in the mood for Taylor Jenkins read lately. Dance of Thieves. The letters on this book are so small, and that's the reason why I haven't read it. I know that's like a really lame excuse, but it's so annoying. Pray Love. This is a little bit of a classic turning into a movie. I eventually will read it. The movie was really fun. The True Love's Bookshop. This was gifted to me. I think this is a romance or a coming of age novel. Excited for that. But this book, and I can tell I'm definitely gonna be reading this very soon. It's just really thick and it scares me. This book came damaged, and that's the reason why I haven't finished it. Like, it starts on like page 200. Amazon did refund me for it, but still, it's just really annoying. ACOTAR. Love ACOTAR. I don't even have to go into detail. I DNF this one. Look, I only have like 40 pages left. I'm gonna finish it, okay? Because it just wasn't that impressionable for me. Loved it. This was a 5-star for me. I own Pride and Prejudice. I have never read a Jane Austen book. I really want to read this one though. I'm only on like page 10. It's just really hard to get through for me. I read some classics when I was a kid. Like, I read the Iliad, the Odyssey, some Shakespeare, but Jane Austen hasn't been for me so far, but I'm excited to get into it. We've got The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I've never read a Lucy Foley book, but I'm excited to eventually read this one. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I just feel like you need to be in the mood for this book. To another stack, we've got The Year of Rest and Relaxation by Tessa Mosfeg. I'm still reading this. I love the cover of this book. It's been really fun so far. I have to organize my shelves, like TBR and like books that I've already read, but I just haven't done it. Book number 3 of ACOTAR. I'm like on page 100 and something. I need to eventually finish this. Second book in the Shatter Me series. Also currently reading this. The Lost Souls of Leningrad. This is a World War II historical fiction. I'm excited to read this. Like, I really am. I really like The World War II topic. So that's why I haven't read it. The Wife Upstairs is a thriller. I'm on page 80. Eventually we'll finish this. Hunting Wives. We have a lot of thrillers in this category. The Hunting Wives. I went through a thriller phase, bought a lot of them, haven't finished a lot of them. We Were Liars. A lot of mixed reviews on this book. Eventually I want to read it and give my own thoughts on it. Or I'm planning a video that requires reading some classics. Wish me luck. This is one of them. On the window, I didn't realize when I bought this that I already watched the movie, so that's why I haven't read it. I do really like that I own the book and I could lend this to somebody. I just watched the movie and I know what happens, so I haven't. Then She Was Gone. A lot of mixed reviews on this one. Eventually I plan on finishing it, just not today. We're about to get through a stack of books that I actually read. One of my favorite YA series. I didn't really like the show that much. I know there's a lot of people do really like the show. I didn't really like it. It changed way too many things. I feel like you need to. If it's not broken, you shouldn't fix it, right? So, it's not my favorite Colleen Hoover book. I gave it like 3 stars. It's okay. My dog is crying because I have him in the room with me, so he doesn't break things. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Gave this one 5 stars. Probably my favorite Colleen Hoover book besides Birdie. Colleen Hoover here. All of Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This one was like a 3 or 4 star for me. It was okay. Don't like the marriage and the pregnancy, throw it down. We've got November 9 by Colleen Hoover. This is highly overrated. I'll say that right now. I don't like it. I didn't like the characters a lot for that one. Starts With Us, my first Colleen Hoover book ever. I feel like this was the first Colleen Hoover book for a lot of people. Don't break that, sir. This was a 4 star for me. I used to like Ryle up until we didn't like Ryle anymore. So Atlas is not my favorite character. Anyways, this book doesn't get talked about enough. It's so good. It's a YA romance. I freaking love this book. This is by Katie Katogno. I want to read other books by her. The Duology. This is 9 Days and Nights. They go together. Got Good Girl Complex. This was okay. This is by Elle Kennedy. She's the author of the Off Campus series and the Bride You series. I really like both of those series. This book we just didn't hit. This Terms and Condition. Book number 1 was eh. Book number 2 was eh. I'm still gonna read number 3 because maybe it will get better. I just didn't really like any of the characters either. Look for a Challenge. It wasn't very good. The No Show by Bette O'Leary. BookTok really lied to me on this one. A lot of people like it. I hated this book. I'll say that right now. Rules. DNF twice. Eventually I'll finish it because I've seen other people really like it. I DNF'd at page 86, so I did give it a fair chance. Verity, probably my favorite Colleen Hoover book besides Ugly Love. I just don't understand what I'm reading at all. And then we've got Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I did really like this one. Gave it 4 stars. I still have to finish the series. Like it enough to actually want to read the entire series. Book Lovers, very disappointing read for me this year. Give it 3 out of 5 stars. This book's supposed to be like Gilmore Girls a little bit. It's School I've Seen on TV. Really cute, small time romance. I haven't read it, so I can't really talk much about it. I read 48 pages of it, so it's not enough to actually judge the book. This is The Last Mrs. Parrish, Reese Witherspoon book club book. This was recommended to me by Brooke Michio for a video. I DNF'd it, unfortunately. I'm still gonna read it because I've heard some good things about it, but yeah, there's that. The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. This was really fun. It wasn't like amazing, but it was really fun. And we've got the To All the Boys I Loved Before series. I read the book number 1, but then I watched the movie, so it didn't make sense to like continue the series really. The Women in Cabin 10 by Rue Ware. This thriller doesn't get talked about enough, or this thriller author. One of my favorite thrillers of all time. Got Anna and the First Kiss. This was a YA romance. It's okay. I wouldn't overhype it on here for you guys. Thriller though. This was recommended to me. Who recommended this to me? Let me look it up. One sec. This was recommended to me by a YouTuber. She has a podcast too. Why am I drawing a blank right now? Really good. I read this for a book. It's called Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillary. It's very, very good thriller. In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. Don't read this. It was like a 2-star for me. It was so badly marketed. This is what the book's supposed to be about. Is that actually about? So yeah, there's that. More books land around the house, but these are the ones where on the book wall right now, so these are the ones we're talking about. Got After by Anna Todd. This is a Wattpad romance. I gave this 4 stars. It was really fun. If you go into it knowing this is a Wattpad romance, then read it and don't be too critical because it's Wattpad. You can't have high expectations for that. I'm saying it's well written, I'm just saying it's really fun. Kind of like Colleen Hoover books. Or The Crowd That Sang by Delia Owen. The last page of this book makes the entire freaking journey worth it. That's all I have to say. The last pages of this book changed my entire rating for this book. This was a 5-star for me. God, The Silent Patient. Highly disappointed. I saw the ending coming by a mile away. I know that's not a popular opinion, but yeah. The dust from here is really getting to my throat. But we finished. I'm proud of myself for actually getting through that. I hope you guys enjoyed because now I have to put all these books back and clean up. And it's all for you guys. So if you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I have just realized that I have to put myself in a book buying ban starting like right now. I have to read all the books that I own. But yeah, I like buying books. Some people like buying makeup. There's that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe and give me some book recs as usual. Bye bye.